Welcome. Ocean Waves. Episode 12. Yeah.
1, 2, 12 is one of my favorite numbers. Ironically enough.
How come?
Because my uncle played 12 for basketball. I played 12 for basketball for a minute and then went to 24.
What was the first thing you said? Your uncle?
Yeah. And it was just like, it just became a good number to me. 3 times.
I like 17.
Ironically enough.
So I'll share a 17 story when I'm on 17. Podcast 17. Look forward.
Hey, 17.
Well, we missed a week.
We did.
2.
2 weeks.
But a little hiatus. Back now. But we'll catch up. Oh.
Yeah.
We had a good
So
Thanksgiving. Pleasant Thanksgiving.
Welcome
To the show. Ocean Waves.
We need like a cool intro.
Like it spins, like an 80s spin into the picture.
Yeah, there's. We should get a That's All, folks, at the end.
True.
And it just has all of us with the binoculars on.
Just like
Zoom. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the end of the last one was hit end there, but Jason didn't end it there.
Oh yeah, everything that
So I
we
got to watch like the last 10 minutes of us, like the conversation, almost like the come down from the conversation. You know what I mean? Where
Facts.
it's like you're still in the podcast. You're like the way you were phrasing your question was still in like podcast Eddie.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
facts.
'Cause there's still that little distinctual difference when you're like out on the porch versus on the microphone.
It's like you
it's
exit
a
the room,
tiny
right?
bit. It's
Yeah.
nothing crazy, but you know. So I was like, oh, he's still in the pod. So it was funny to watch. But whatever. I thought about like fading out and bringing it back in, but then I realized I was like, no, I'm not gonna put it back. I'm just gonna let it. If we do the cuts thing when, like we said, one day we'll add it then when it's time. But
Facts.
yeah, okay, I'm gonna start. Okay, so do you think? Okay, so where is your level of have like video games and movies and whatever like kind of like numbed you to gore, and like things happening, and like how much you think it's numbed you, and is there still like something where you're like oh, you know what I mean, or do you think because you played so many video games or watched so many things, like no matter what you've seen, you'll be like you can like sit there and look at it and not be like or like away, because something happened earlier with us, which kind of made me think of it.
what?
Just with Amber being in the.
Oh yeah, I'll just tell the story. It's fine. So we're just about to leave somewhere. It's like small. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was like kind of. And Amber like gets in the side of the door, and then she's in like the back seat, and I'm closing the passenger side door. And as I'm closing it, I'm not closing it hard. Like it really was just like a casual, like it wasn't like a slam or anything. I'm literally just closing it like. And then as it's about to close, she just jumps up and puts her hand like right on the bar, like right in that middle thing. And the door literally closed. Like you hear like the close sound and everything. And I go, Amber. And then she like was telling a story. She just stopped. I like look, I'm like, is her hand actually in there? And then she just goes, and I open it back up and I got her some ice and she was fine. But
Yeah.
She didn't break
and
her
then
hand?
no, it's
Thank
fine.
God.
I put my hand in there to see. I was like, was it actually? And I started to close the door. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, that definitely hurt. Like she felt that because her fingers are small.
But you just saw like fingers in the.
Yeah, I just
the-
saw literally.
the
So it's like
hand.
the bar is like this, and I like it's this way, and her, hands like that, and the door closes like right
Yeah,
there.
so that wasn't crazy enough to make you go like.
Yeah. But I was like,
still
I
that-
could
it's
visualize it.
something-
Just
yeah,
her little
yeah.
fingers in the
Yeah,
door.
bro.
So that's what made me think.
And I was
of it.
like, oh, because I told her before, I was like, don't do that. Like, don't put your hand on that bar. And it's like as I'm closing it, like she like just slides in the perfect time. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
So I would say that I'm
Yeah.
probably in a limit where like if I see like a body like open, I'll probably be like, oh, like I've seen like someone like blood coming out of someone, but like if they're like split up or like limbs like they got blown up or whatever, I think that I would be like, I don't think I would be able to like. I think I would have to look away for at least a second before I look back.
I would definitely look at it, but I'd be disgusted.
I would look at it too. For me, I feel like it's cannibalism. Like, so I'll give you an example. I was driving home from a podcast.
That's what makes you go, Or you saying that's what the line is?
Oh, Bahama, yeah, cannibalism.
Okay.
Like, literally cannibalism. But, like, I'm going to get to it because it kind of ties into what you're saying a little bit. I was driving home. Calvin was right behind me, right? And there was like a dead possum in the road. And there was like another possum literally like got like feasting on that dead possum. It was so gross.
That is amazing.
It was
Oh,
so
yeah.
gross.
When if you're on the golf cart and you smell like a dead armadillo that's been rotten and only the shell's left, that's nasty.
Vultures just
But
picked
like
it
that's
out.
not like
But that was like a straight possum eating
So-
possum.
okay. So
My
Canada-
lights like flashed on it, and like you could
Right.
see his eyes were like super like red, and like it just looked
Just
like
vicious.
demonic, bro. It was
Oh,
just like
man.
crazy.
So
Eating his
cannibalism,
brother.
That's where you gotta look away.
Yeah, it's like if someone's just like feasting in on somebody, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn my head.
What
That's
about
hilarious.
if like someone's swimming in like a pool and there's like 1,000 band-aids, like all used, just like floating around?
Ew,
Are you
dude.
gonna look at that, or are you gonna have to
I'm
turn
gonna
away?
look at it, yeah.
No,
You're gonna
bro.
look at it?
Why? I mean, it's just band-aids. It's just gross, but it's just band-aids.
See, I don't tend to turn away. That's because I've talked about it on the podcast before. Calvin, has
But even
very
a second,
bad-
I'm saying even a second.
yeah, I
Where
don't.
it's like
I don't tend.
you're just gonna be like
because I had
arm blown off.
I had that phase where it was like I like
That'd definitely scar you a little bit.
going down, not quite 4chan because 4chan scared me, but like going down the rabbit hole of just like effed up videos or people
Oh my
doing
God.
yeah, I had
Yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
I went deep
Dark web.
And
Some
so,
Reddit.
like, that definitely played into
Yeah,
the
dark web.
desensitization.
Well, nowadays you'll be like on Instagram and all of a sudden you see someone just get popped and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
gunshot.
so that's not
okay, I
as-
think there's this. I think this is I don't know if it's philosophy
That's
or
definitely
psychology.
desensitized, right?
I think it's psychology, but in psychology, it's like there's a distance between. I think it's psychology. There's a distance between the act of killing and like how far away, and that's how much you process or like how much you can handle. So like those people who, there was a guy who was one of those like military people who would launch the drones, and he did like this interview, and he's like, if you ever played Call of Duty MW2 and you get the AC-130 and like how you see the people where they're like the white spots, like that's exactly how it is. Like he's like, it's spot on, exactly like that. So he's like, he was the guy who would, someone aims it and then he pulls the trigger. Like it was every single thing. Someone's flying the thing, someone aims the gun, and someone pulls the trigger. And he was the guy who pulled the trigger. And he had like, I think it was like 50 confirmed kills. And then when he stopped, it was because like there was a building that he was shooting at, and they were like, oh, we have the person, and they're like, well, he's like, and you never ask questions because like military, you don't question your chain of command. And then as soon as he hit the button, he sees like a kid run in the building, and then he blew that building up. So then he's like asking, he's like, oh, I saw a kid run in there. He's like, and the guy above him was like, no, that was just a dog, like just trying to like play it off. And then he was like, well, and after that, I guess, I don't know, to the commanding officer, I think it's just his own thought process. He's like, well, how do we even know we're killing the right people? And he's like, essentially, they get it off like a cell phone. They track this guy's cell phone, but how do you even know he had the cell phone? Like, you don't know for sure. So he's just pulling the trigger, blowing up buildings. But point being is, since he's so far away, so desensitized through a screen, he can kill 50 people. It's really a mass murder, if you think about it. Like, you murder 50 people, you're a mass murderer. You know what I mean? If you did that out
Unless
in
you
public.
do it for your country.
Yeah, exactly. But so for that's in his own psychology. But then you have the snipers. Snipers have a lot more confirmed kills than the average person because of the distance. And then you just keep going down the list, and it's like from the range, it affects like people's mentality. Like if you shot someone from 50 yards away versus stabbed them in front of you, the psychology of that is different. Because you just see a body drop 50 yards away versus you literally see everything. You hear the knife go in. You hear the air come out of the body when the knife comes out. Like, the psychology is different versus, like, the AC-130 where you just push a button. Fucking blow them up. So, I think there kind of lies some sort of answers. Like, where does the psychology, at what point does it affect you to the point where you can't watch it? How close does it need to be to you?
Do you consider jump scares part of that too? Because I'll always fall for a jump scare.
Hell yeah,
The one
especially
where
during
it's
a
like-
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's
movie
like the
theater.
lady sipping on like lemonade, and all of a sudden it's some weird dude in the mask, like.
Dude, the Nun ones. If you ever see the trailers for the Nun, both times I've seen the Nun movies. I never seen the movies, but I've seen the trailers for them when they were coming out. I went to first time I saw it. Have you ever seen like that puppet movies, like the Happy Time Murders? You ever heard of that?
It sounds familiar, but
It's
I don't
kind of
think I
funny.
watched
It's like human. It's like a world with humans and puppets, and it's like this like Happy Time was like the show in the movie. It was like the show in the movie, and then like the people with the cast were just getting killed or whatever. But that doesn't matter. But I was in the movie theater for that, and the first Nun came out, and there was like a jump scare in that, and I did not expect it at all because I'm like, I'm seeing a comedy movie, like, and so then it jumped me, and I was like, oh fuck, like I screamed that in the theater, and everyone started laughing because this shit got me so bad. And then when the second Nun one came out, it's the one where like she like crawl. I don't know why she would do that because there's a little window. She's crawling through the window, and then she's like looking around, and you see the nun, and you're already on edge because the nun's just staring. You're like, oh shit, and then they like back up, and it shows the kid, and then the nun just comes through. It's like, oh fuck. So that got me too. So those ones get me on the jump scares. Those movies successful.
But at the same time, when it's a jump scare, you don't know it's coming. So it's about how you deal with the jump scare at that point versus like.
Yeah, it's like the after effect. Yeah, so then now.
And then if unless you go to the movie, like, you know there's going to be jump scares, and they do the thing where, like, and then they don't jump scare you. Yeah. And then, like, 10 seconds later or something, like, you kind of just go through the scene, and then they jump scare you. Like, oh!
Those are the best ones.
Different, they just psychologically, like, psych you out, right? Just to get you. It's almost like a roller coaster, where, like, you get that, like, hump feeling, and you're like, whoa! You know, it's just like that, where they're lulling you into this thing, and they're trying to just get you. Hump
feeling is pretty nice.
What is that?
Hump feeling is pretty nice.
Yeah. What about like real life jump scares? Like when somebody scares you around the corner type shit.
Well, you've seen the videos, right? Where people get knocked out, like punched.
Well, dude,
that's the first thing that came to my mind.
So me and Keita were watching Chucky one time, and then I had left to go. I don't even know. I like left the room, and then as I came back, and we're watching. It's dark because you watch scary movies in the dark. And she's like hiding next to the door, but like crouched down. And we're watching Chucky, right? So Chucky's little. And then she like, as I'm walking in the room, like totally unsuspecting, she jumps up. It's like, like screams. And my initial, I was like, oh shit. Like it scared the shit out of me. But I was like, damn. I was like, you could have got kicked in the face, like acting like Chucky down there. But she got me so bad. I was like, holy shit.
For me, I think it's situational. Like, where are you? Because like in my house, like I don't want to punch anyone here. Right. So when I get scared, like my first thing isn't really to punch.
No,
if I'm
but
on the
it's
street.
Defense.
If I'm on the street and someone pops out, like I'm on the street, so you might be more inclined to throw the punch or like kick someone or like do whatever. Yeah. At the house, I feel like I'm more like I'm not punching anyone here.
I don't think I'm swinging unless I'm calculated. Like if I got scared, like my initial instinct is defend, not attack. So my first is like defend, and I wouldn't. You're not swinging.
I think the people who are actually
like,
swinging are people who get like they go, and then as they're like realizing they get pissed off that they just got scared,
and then they like, swing.
Their first reaction is like they're more mad that you scared them.
They swing.
Then they punch
back.
You know, but it's honestly it's such like an innocent but also like honestly fucked up dude. Because someone's just going around their day like la la, and then you just like scare them, just shakes up their whole thing. You know, because now you're like looking around the corner next time, maybe, or whatever.
It's just like when a bug gets on you. And then for the next like hour, you just feel like there's a bug on you. Like two of the hairs on your leg just like slip off each other, and all of a sudden you got a spider on you.
Now, because you talked about the spider, we're all gonna think we have spiders on us for the rest of the podcast.
Nah.
I'm good.
Yesterday, when I walked outside, there was like a spider walking down, but I'm already like stepping out as I see it, and so I see it. Like I just can't dodge it. I just had to eat it, and it was on me. And then I like brushed off, and I never saw it fall. But I was like, I don't know where it is. I shake out. I literally took off I had 2 coats on. I shook those out. I shook everything out, but I never saw it fall. So I have no idea, like if it was still on me the whole time, or I have no idea. But I just accepted it. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and like be afraid of this little spider that may or may not be on me.
Well, they do say you like what 7 spiders through your lifetime or something like that.
You eat 7?
Yeah, in your sleep. I don't know if that's true or not, but
yeah,
there's some like myth.
Well, what? Yeah, but I feel like who's like how you count, like how you find it out. Like, are you are you like recording someone sleeping, and then you just watch the spider go in their mouth, and you don't stop it or anything? You know what I mean? Is that
That's
worse?
Hilarious.
Is that worse?
Like, oh, it's going in, just like it crawls in.
Oh,
spider can.
Just like,
Yeah.
No, he's turning around. He's turning around.
Chews it up.
Take
That'd
it
be
off.
hilarious. Oh.
Yeah.
How big do you think they are?
The spider's probably small. Or daddy long legs just creeping in you.
I feel like you would feel that though. Like,
no, you wouldn't. Not in your sleep.
And you see, you wouldn't go.
That's not my first instinct.
Daddy long leg crawling through your throat.
He said daddy's long leg.
All those long legs, dude. Scraping your throat, dude.
So there's
Pause.
some
Play,
episode, right?
Play.
There's an episode
Hold up,
of
rewind?
some
Play.
show where it's like has like Earth has like a zoo and it's like there's like all these different episodes and each person of like it's like Earth is the channel. Is that Futurama? I'm thinking of.
It sounds
I
familiar.
feel like that would be a. That makes
The
sense.
species? I don't know.
Earth Channel.
Like it was the Earth
I think it's a
channel.
Rick and Morty thing.
It could be a Rick and Morty thing, but I feel like it's
One of those.
not.
I feel like
One of those shows did
I
that.
know what you're talking about.
It's not The Simpsons.
All I know is in the beginning of Stitch, like the green eye guy, like it's like, oh, this is planet Earth. He's like, and there's only one valuable species here, and it's like the mosquito. That's what reminded me of that.
It was
Well,
What
at
what
the
show
end
is
of
that?
it, Agent Bubbles
the
said
big
that.
shark.
Well, no, when he was talking to the like head lady in charge.
That's
head
the
alien
big
lady.
shark guy, though, right? Bubbles.
The guy with the glasses.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses, the black dude.
Okay.
The binoculars.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay,
Agent Bubbles.
Yeah, okay.
Your
okay, that's what-
knuckles
yeah, yeah.
say Cobra, but he tells her because when she was like, "I've seen you before," he was like, "Oh, back then we convinced a alien species that mosquitoes were an endangered species on Earth, so they wouldn't screw with it." So it was like they full circled that bit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I realized that watching it as an adult, like
Mhm.
a month or two ago, and so it's very funny
That's
you
dope.
brought that up
Yeah.
because I was like, that was a dope.
That's another
detail.
cool one.
Like,
Like, Lilo and Stitch, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dropping you in like aliens and humans made some agreement somewhere down the line.
Yep.
You know,
Hell yeah.
I like that.
They
I
had
when they do
like
that.
a scene that got canceled at the end of the movie. It's like supposed to be like a bombing scene through like the city, but it was supposed to air like on 9/11, so they had to change it to make the scene just like on the beach and the rocks instead at the end of the movie.
There's a bombing in Lilo and Stitch?
Or it was like
Or like planes
It was like
when
the
they're
plane-
fighting
when
the
they're
spaceships?
fighting, yeah.
Oh, okay.
the plane one.
Oh, because doesn't the plane crash on the mountain?
Yeah.
It probably clashed on a building originally. They changed it. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Political correctness.
I was gonna say something.
They had to change it last minute. I'm trying to remember what that show was still. I think it was Futurama. But anyways, the point of me bringing that up was the aliens are watching us, and that's how they know how many spiders go in the house when
Simpsons.
you're sleeping. Was
That's
it
Simpsons, yeah. I remember
I
that.
thought it wasn't
The
Simpsons.
Earth was a TV station. Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like those green aliens. With I think they have the 3 eyes and like the tentacle legs. Pretty sure it's them.
I think so. I think
And
you're right.
they're watching
Yeah.
Earth and like, oh, like our favorite TV show. And then like Earth becomes aware that they're on TV and then or something like that. And
And
then
they're about to get canceled.
oh yeah, they're about to get canceled.
You know who does
Yeah.
the best out of all of them? The best alien one.
South
South-
Park.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew exactly
When
what
they
you were gonna
got
say.
you got they got the space crash and they get the space cash and they like put value to the space cash and like everyone's buying things with it and blah 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 and whatever and then they like the other ship comes down and they're like
The alien
yeah,
dude. Yeah.
the alien crash here, blah blah blah. I was like, was there any like cash, like space cash on the ship? And they're like, oh no, well, and they're like, you have failed the executive order of the galaxy, blah blah. You will be like taken off the map, and they dip off, and then the
Yes.
space cash is just worthless.
They
After
failed the
them inside
test.
was square too, right?
Then it's Randy. This is Randy, like the center of it all. Like blew it for the whole Earth.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's
Nice.
funny.
No space crash here, China. No, India. No.
They're just buying it. It's like not backed by
It doesn't
anything.
even make
They're
any
all
sense.
space
That way
time
valuable.
Literally spending space cash on Earth. It doesn't even make sense.
They're like, no, it's not here. Oh man.
So crazy.
So funny.
Someone have another topic?
I don't know. I like that the idea of like Earth is like a test. You know, what if it's like a great galactic
Yeah.
civilization, and we can be each planet can be a part of it once they like achieve a technological feat and like a humanitarian feat, like world peace. Like when they get to world peace, like oh now you can join, because if you can't get to world peace, then if you join their thing, you would just mess it up.
Yeah. Well, if you were an alien and like humans can't even get along, like if you pop out, like what are they gonna be like?
Exactly.
They're gonna be like, hey, and be like, oh my god.
They would get murdered immediately.
Yeah.
Or
Or,
just-
no,
or
they
just-
would be captured and dissected and
Make them do shit.
Probed.
and do whatever. They'd be brought to some lab.
They probably got aliens in
Scanned.
little labs deep underground, just building the next TikTok dance.
Yo, what if all the people on Hollywood are aliens, right? And they make all the alien movies and they say the aliens are probing, but really the government's probing the aliens.
Dum dum dum.
Maybe.
You know, I do think it'd be a funny South Park.
That is the first episode.
Of what?
South Park.
Yeah.
It's Carmen getting anal probe.
Oh, he does. Yeah, Carmen gets an anal probe. Yeah.
It's so funny because it's literally just like cardboard, like, or just
Little
paper.
mache.
Yeah, and then just the mouths are like 4 different mouths. They just rotate which ones they do the stop pictures with. And they're just rotating around, but it looks like,
It's funny.
up to where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it on? Did you ever watch that when I said it on
What?
HBO? Like the 6 Days of South Park.
I never
It's like a
watched
little
it.
like 45-minute little documentary, but it shows you like when they were doing the season where they did like the human centipede. You know that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
So it was like when they're coming back to do that season, and they basically just show you the first week, but they like literally like Tuesday when they're like literally in a room and they're like rattling off ideas, like just funny things. They're laughing, trying to think whatever sticks or whatever. And there was like a thing where they're like talking about like I think it was Matt Stone was like one of them was saying like how it's fucked up how like college athletes get the NIL deals, and that's like something that happened this year, but like really because I think Zion really broke the gate for that. But as far as like in the past when they were making this episode, like college players didn't get paid, they just got used to their likeness and stuff. So then they're just running off ideas, and then one of them, I can't remember if it was Trey Stone or Matt Park, one of them they're like or Matt Stone, they're like what if we do like Cartman runs a crack baby team, and then they go, but none of them get paid, and blah blah blah.
I
And then they
remember
all
that
start
episode.
busting out laughing. You can see them all like know the ideas like effed up, but it's hilarious. And then you see all their minds start working, and then they start like falling off ideas, and then they're literally like doing the voices off like the sketches. And like they're geeking out, like they're doing like what they're like doing, like they're eating like the cuttlefish and like it's going through the center head or whatever, and they're like trying to do it, and they're like laughing every 3 seconds and like getting there and going back, and then it goes into where they put the voice to the mouth and they do all that, and it's like this whole team doing it in 6 days, and it's like, dude, that's dope. That one have a team all doing that where everyone's got a role or 2 roles or 3 roles and blah blah blah, and then everyone's coming together to make this like idea come out, and then it's just great,
Hell yeah.
So and you can tell that they're like you could see them in there looking at the flaws in it, like we would look like if we're looking at like the music or whatever it is, and you're just like, oh, I could have done this and whatever. But I think it's one thing he said was like because they only have 6 days, they can't like send the idea and try to make it perfect for a month per episode, where it's like literally they got 6. You got to just get the idea out, do as best you can, and put it out, and then do it again, and again, and again.
It's dope.
That's
Shout out
it
to
was
South
definitely
Park.
cool. Yeah, definitely South Park's definitely lit.
All I really want to talk about is how great the Flaming Matches are doing in fantasy.
Hell yeah.
Big.
clinched the
Playoffs.
playoffs
Playoffs.
with last week's
I
win
don't know.
against the underdogs.
Yeah. So there's
Feeling
only,
good.
If
Only
I win
team
today,
here.
I clinch.
There's only 4 spots, 3 non-divisional. So
I did predict before you went on your 3 or 4 win, whatever it is right now, that you were when you were at like a 15% chance. I did predict you'd make playoffs.
yeah,
I got video evidence.
you do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be close for me, man.
I think he'll make it.
I did say you'd make it too.
I definitely should be in. Weeks could have definitely went my way.
You should have made trades. You
Should've
make no
played-
trades.
Good lineups. I shouldn't have taken Jordan Love out for Brock Purdy that one week against my mom. So it's all right. It's how fantasy goes, though, dude. It's all good. I have
Yeah.
faith I'll squeak in. ESPN's got me at 70%, so we got faith.
Well, you won. Are you on a 2-game losing streak or a 1-game losing streak?
One.
So you said last podcast that you had a 50-50
I can
and you just need to win 2 out of those 4
I
games,
can
right?
get in
So you're
at
1-1
a
right
disgusting
now.
6-8. I can get in.
Yeah, you're 1-1
That's
now.
why ESPN's got me at 70%. Disgusting 6-8. I'm in there. but I just had everything else is still lying right. I need help.
Yeah, if I beat Dad, I'd clinch the division.
Yeah,
Because I beat him 2 out of the 3 times.
him to
And I already
lose.
beat James
I need
twice.
my mom to lose. I need to text James, like, please set the best line possible. My mom has that all by. It's like literally the entire Raven squad.
Well, James is playing Katie, I thought.
Like James playing mom.
I'm playing.
Calvin's playing Katie.
Okay, yeah, so I mixed
Yeah,
it up.
and
So
Katie's lineups garbage this
mom's
week, too.
doesn't even have a lineup in.
No, she has nothing. Well, she's drafted all of Baltimore's players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's screwed.
That's why I had to draft Zay Flowers so early because no one was really going for him. I knew it, but I saw mom drafting every Raven known to man. I was like, he's not gonna survive. I gotta get him.
That's funny.
You know,
That's hilarious.
yeah.
I'm still debating on who I'm going to keep.
I think I know who I'm keeping.
What are you
I
going
think
to do?
I'm gonna do for sure 4 years on Hurts,
Smart.
and then I think I'm gonna keep Ramon Stevens for 2 years.
You're not going to keep Keenan Allen?
Well, if I get I got 2 first-round picks next year.
I would try to get him back. Or somebody else.
That'd be interesting.
Smart.
A little bit of a side inside scoop.
Scoop you out.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that, ZJ List? A
I've watched all
side
of them.
inside scoop for you real quick? Did you guys watch it?
No, no.
Which one? The one for Thanksgiving?
I don't remember which one it was. Ryan's outro was,
It was
hilarious.
It was the inside scoop number 2.
Because he's like, oh, everyone
yeah.
send me like an inside scoop. And so his outro was like, he's like, all right, guys, thanks for letting me come inside and scoop you out.
Yeah.
I
I forgot about that.
Like, he really just said
Yo,
that.
I was laughing so.
But what were you saying?
The thing about it is that that video, I was already 25 minutes in. I was like, I'm not cutting anything else out.
That's hilarious.
Whatever I ripped off is just in there.
So out of pocket.
Yeah, it's
Go ahead.
it. ZJ yells. So it wasn't me. So.
Coming in and scooping you out.
I was just talking about the side inside scoop.
Yeah, what was yours? I thought you had a side inside
No.
scoop.
No, it was a side.
He said mine was a side inside scoop.
on
okay.
its future, what its future plans might be.
I
Yeah.
feel like I want to be the only one that shares it on the podcast. So that's
I'm
okay.
gonna keep. I know I'm keeping Nico Collins and Tank Dell for 2 years each, but I don't know who my last spot's gonna
Well,
be.
I have basically between Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Laporta, Calvin Ridley, Zay Flowers, and Pittman to decide. I could keep all of them and run back my team.
I know
That's
who
the
I'd pick
decision.
out of your team.
I'm
Sure.
probably gonna do a couple years on 2, and then maybe either 3 2s or 2 2s and 1 1. I might do that. And I'm
2
honestly,
2s and 2 1s.
yeah. I'm honestly just gonna wait for the season to kind of still unfold, and then decide as the playoffs go and see who does what, and just make the decision based off then. But I'll probably keep a couple for 2 years, and it's just I'm back and forth.
My draft's gonna be tough next year.
Because one thing is I did trade up from when I made those trades. I got Calvin Ridley out of it, so it's like, do I go that route? I got Zay Flowers. He's promising, especially for a second year. You know, Brees Hall. That's when I'm excited for Aaron Rodgers to come back in time, so I can see how he does with Aaron Rodgers. And if he starts producing good, then it's okay. Maybe I can do a 2-year on him, and him and Aaron Rodgers' last 2 years, whatever, will be with the Jets, and Brees Hall flourishes. So maybe that's a good idea. But if they go and Brees Hall doesn't score as much, maybe I don't keep him and I just keep more receivers. But one thing I am going to change is I'm going to change one of the flex to receivers. So you're going to have 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 2 running backs, quarterback, 1 flex. Here it is. Because when I was looking at, like, most teams, when you look at the field, you see, like, 1 tight end, 3 receivers, the running back, the QB, and the 5 linemen. So it's like,
And if you look at the top 100 players for flex spot, like more than half of them are wide receivers. There's only like a certain amount of running backs and tight ends that can actually compete with the wide receivers' output. It's like mostly wide receivers.
And I think there was one of the trades came up earlier. Something happened. I think you two were talking. Something happened where it was like it ended up coming to my attention where it was just like it felt like the receivers weren't as valuable. Like the running backs were super valuable because there's only so many.
Yeah,
and you
the
could
drop off is so fast.
Basically, the reason why Mark didn't trade anybody is because he can put 4 running backs in a game. But if he can only play 3 running backs in a game, he doesn't need 4. You know what I'm saying? He can go get another receiver. You can do there's more whatever, but having the 3 receiver, but by being able to put 4 running backs when there isn't like more than 32, 40 really.
There's
running,
not 40
know,
good running
but
backs.
Just say 32. You know what I'm saying? But the receivers, you have at least like pretty much 2 per team. You could go 64 receivers. It's like the running backs, there's whatever. So someone could hoard 4.
Like
go
me,
like that.
I have 4.
Yeah,
I have
but
Eckler,
if you have, but
Pollard,
now when you have to play 3
Connor,
receivers, because you can
Swift.
play 4 receivers now if you want. Like I have 4 receivers, and you can still play 4 receivers next year if you want. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, it doesn't hoard tight ends or running backs, which are a lack thereof for the sake of league. And since there is a wide range of receivers, and then it also makes sure you have to put 3 in, so then it makes like these receivers are important because you have to. You don't like right now. I have Jefferson, Adams, Pittman, Flowers, and Ridley. And I'm trying to decide who to play each week. Well, Jefferson got hurt, but if he wasn't hurt, then I'll try this each time. But since I have 5, I don't need anybody else. But if I have to play 3 each week, and now I have 2 on a bye this week, you know what I mean? Then it makes I need more receivers. I can't just I got 4 or 5 of the best ones. I don't need to even worry about it. And then it's like, but then it'll breed like if Mark couldn't play 4 running backs each week this year, would he have prompted a trade? He might have been more influenced to trade.
Also, I have a side. This is my idea for next year. We do a defensive league.
Oh yeah.
That you have like a defense, like all the defensive player slots. Then you have you get a head coach, and then you get like instead of having how we have where it's like the defensive and special teams, you'd get offense and special teams. So you'd be drafting a team's offense. So it'd be like Bill's offense, not players, just the offense in general, but just all defensive plays, and just make that like a side league. Like you don't have to play it, you can play it. But then people who want to join the league, in the 12-man league, if we can't get it to 16 yet, they can just join the defensive league. And I thought of the idea, like if you win the defensive league, like if you're not in the main league and you win the defensive league, you could just be like top of the queue for like entering in, even cutting in front of other people who've been waiting longer. Like if you win the defensive league, because it's like your trial to get in, type shit.
Thanks.
But just for fun, little defensive league.
I honestly thought it would be a good idea because then you'd be starting to look at defensive players too, and things like prize picks and stuff. When I came in, I was like, I didn't actually bet on Jalen Hurts, but I should have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he balled out.
On Sunday, I texted Eddie who's balling out for the Flame Magic today. But it went past 1 o'clock when I was making my bets anyway. And there was one other person on your team that was gonna do it. I didn't do it. I was like, damn it, I should have done it. But
would have been.
no, someone else was just like Reset. It was nothing crazy.
Bro, you scraped by the hair on your nutsack last week.
Yeah, you did.
1-point victory last week.
Yeah, big.
Big Vic.
And if the other team, I forget what the teams were, if the other team would have won Monday night, you would have lost.
Oh, they would have totally won.
Because it would have been a swing. Because you won because you got the bonus point and he lost a point.
And you got that on the last drive.
Yeah.
You got that last catch.
So if that didn't happen,
I would have lost on the swing.
you would have switched. You would have lost a point. So let's say you're at 100, you went to 99, and if he was at 100, he'd go to 101.
Yeah.
So you won because of that.
That's how I
definitely
lost
won
my
on
dad.
the swing.
Because I lost my dad because Brees Hall and the...
Well, no, because the Chargers lost.
Did they lose?
Yeah, the Chargers lost.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, the only reason
So
why
you
they got us because Keenan Allen got enough on that last catch to get over the...
Oh, okay. So
And
I thought you lost on the
but
swing.
When I was playing my dad, and it was Monday night, and there was 3 drives left for the Jets. On the third last drive, Brees Hall's last 2 plays, big 10-yard gains, 1 catch, 1 run, both flagged. And then whatever team scores, Jets get the ball back. Zach Wilson gets stripped at the goal line, or stripped. It goes to the goal line. They score a touchdown, and my dad is the kicker, and he hits the extra point on the pole, and it goes in instead of going out. If it goes out, that's a 2-point swing. And then on the last drive, Brees Hall doesn't play in the last drive, and the backup running back gets 4 catches for 40 yards, and I lost by 1.1 or 1.06. So literally, any one of those Brees Hall flags, if Brees Hall would have played the last possession, or if that extra point would have dinged out instead of in, I would have won. Oh, it was just insult to injury, dang, dang, dang. And then they showed
Calvin out though.
They showed the highlights of the Eagles and the Cowboys, and Ferguson's on the goal line with the catch, and he's an inch short. I'm like, oh my god, how many daggers can they send my way this week? It was a fancy guys just did not want me to win that week.
Calvin got his win though because of who's your running back?
Not running back. It's I have Jarrett Wilson.
Oh, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson's man.
Yeah,
Dude.
I thought it was
But, yeah,
Magby,
Bro. the fact that Kirk Cousins went down made it so much easier for you to decide to be able to play Dak Prescott every week. Otherwise, you'd be in Katie's scenario where she's trying to decide between Trevor Lawrence and C.J. Stroud every week and just picks the wrong one.
Yeah, I would
This
play
week she
Stroud
picked
honestly every week,
Yeah.
right or wrong. But that's because I also have Tank Dell and Nico Collins. So I'm like, we're either balling out and winning over
Right.
losing, like one or
But
the other.
Stroud, like when they do good, it's because they're passing. You know what I mean? It's not like Singletary's out here getting 2 TDs and 130 yards.
Yeah.
It's like really.
But you
they're
got to give them
passing,
credit
they get to the
because
goal
none of
line,
those guys are
Singletary
like
runs.
really seasoned veterans.
Yeah, they're
All those guys are pretty
Yeah.
young. So
You know
for
who
them to
got-
be doing that, it's
You know who
pretty
got
crazy.
released today or who asked to be cut?
Who?
Zach Ertz.
Really?
Asked to be cut
Is that the guy
Why?
I have?
because he's on
Can't
the
remember.
Cardinals and they suck, and he's probably only got
Oh.
1 or 2 this year, maybe one more after that. So he's like, "Why am I going to spend my last 2 years in Arizona?
Go somewhere you have a
You
chance.
could literally go back to Dallas. Goddard got hurt.
Yeah.
Eagles could literally scoop. The Eagles traded him away. They could literally just be.
I hope they don't, unless they run both, because I have got it, but I'm not going to keep him. I don't think he's going to be back.
Ertz is pretty good.
I mean, he's one of the older,
Who
like
has
he's
Zach
good
Ertz
tight
in there?
end.
Anyone know?
Who has Ertz?
I don't know. You have Ertz?
You guys Zach Ertz?
He does, yeah.
Do
On IR.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So there you
Nice.
go. That's a big playoff scoop. You never know.
Yeah.
Scoop you out.
Scoop. Yeah. Come inside.
Well, like every week I'm playing Hurts over Geno Smith. Every week.
Yeah.
You
That's
gotta-
what I'm basically at with Brock Purdy and Jordan Love. But Jordan Love balled out last week,
Yeah.
and I would have beaten Mark if I would have played him.
That's
See,
all right. I'm okay
I
with losing the mark, but I'm playing Hurts every week.
But that's why it comes. But when it comes to the playoffs, you know, what I mean, Hurts may be a different story than it. But when it comes, like, there is that mode where it's like, you have to decide in this week who's gonna get me to the points, and then on the flip side, if having the players that can hop in, like Zach Ertz or whatever, who just hops in at the end, having those like steal guys that just pull up at it, like Kyler Murray, for instance. If my dad would have beaten you, now he has Kyler Murray coming off, trying to just get back in the swing of things.
Mhm.
Blah, 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 for the playoff run, and he's set up. And now that he lost, he's kind of in a deep ditch to the playoffs now.
Who,
Instead,
Kyler Murray?
Dad, but
Yeah.
having Kyler Murray.
It's just that 3-0 start, 0-3 start,
Yeah, but he
coming back to haunt him.
he left his best player on the bench.
Yeah,
I mean, at that point, what are you gonna do? But yeah, that's just not smart.
tough.
Good for you. You beat him though, right? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lost
Normally-
to your dad.
Normally I text him, but I was like, that game was like it like mattered, so I was like, I'm not gonna touch it because it's not fair.
Yeah.
Because normally I'd be like, I'll text him like, because he's not really adept with like the technology enough.
Yeah, I really just send him reminders. Just be like, just try to.
If I
Just
see
because for the-
someone's out in his lineup or on a bye, that's when I call him, be like, take this guy out, put this guy in, or this guy. Because like I'm not finna let you have the 0. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's basically I'm just trying to like.
But I did that when he played me both times too,
Yeah,
just to make
I
it
really
fair.
want. At the end of the day, everyone should play like exactly at Sunday at, whatever time. He didn't do it. I sent him like 12:30. I said check your lineup. He didn't do it. You know what I mean? But all I can do is send the thing. You know what I mean? And then for James or Katie, like I'm not gonna go text Katie to go set your lineup.
Hell no.
'Cause Katie should know by
She's
now.
a
She has
threat.
2 names on the trophy.
Yeah.
So I'm not helping her out any means. But at the same time, I do think usually I do my ZGOs on Thursday, so I usually do give if you watch it, I do say check your lineup, right? So it's like usually I do give the league wide.
Yeah. I think from future for your ZJ Yellis's, they shouldn't really be longer than 5 minutes. Like you could have the specials that like when we send in videos and those can be longer, but the times that I miss
But
it,
you don't have to watch the ZJ Ellis. You can go read it. I put everything out in writing, so you can go read it in your 5 minutes, and just
Yeah.
read it, or you can just watch whatever the report is. You don't have. That's
I
the
do
whole,
like the reports.
That's the whole thing. You don't have to do. You can. The information is there. If you want to quick digest information, I got you. If you want whatever I feel like giving the energy that week, I got you on that.
I guess the reason I miss it, I've only missed like 3 of them, but the when I miss
But they're
them
usually 12 minutes.
is like when I pull them up and I'm like whatever I'm doing now until the next thing I have to do, like I'm on the way to work or something. If I'm like, oh, I can't, I'm not gonna start it on the way to work because I know I'm like my drive to work is like 15-20 minutes. So if it's longer than that,
Yeah, but only like 1 or 2 maybe have they been over 20, like 20. Usually they're 12 minutes. Like music videos.
Maybe I
but
just
on
because it was
Thursday, they're
back to
like
back,
12
so there were
minutes.
25, and
Yeah,
I watched
12
them at night.
And the only time they were long is if I missed a week and I was trying to just
capture.
yeah.
Okay.
So.
Still, I think like if it was
But
like
at the same time, you can just read it too.
yeah.
You know, and it's all right there. The rankings are there. The plus minus of who went up, who went down. You know, I didn't do it this week. I'm slacking, but
It would be hilarious
I'll do it on Saturday.
for the league to be like a public league that we like show the stuff that's happening. It's like this, like the live scoreboards. Like people can view the league like it's public.
That's what I want to do. I want to do the Discord. I'm gonna set up the Discord for this year, and I'm gonna live stream the championship game, and I'm gonna have they scored.
You could even host leagues.
You know,
if people start following the Discord and we make the sub leagues, you could even host leagues, and it can be that thing where you can move up to the next league if you like win, or if you have a certain record, like you're to the next year. Like if you had like, I don't know how many people would be in. If there's a ton of people, it would be hard, but it'd be like if you could host leagues for people to join in, like, and it'd be like, let's say the buy-in is like $50 for like the smaller one, and there's like 12 people, then you just take, what is that? $50, 12 people, $600. You take 100 off the top, and like the cash prizes go to 500. So you can just make money. But
I can make the Discord. I can make a public Discord and a private Discord, and the public one just put up the things, and then when we post about it on Instagram, or whatever, you bring them to the Discord to go in there. And because Discord is easiest for the live stream, that's the easiest thing for me to do. Everyone just whoever wants to download the app.
All right, I got a topic. My topic is, what is everyone's goals for 2024? Because we're about to hit December in a few minutes. If not, we already did. No, 5 minutes. That'll be the last month of the year.
I got a few.
Who would like to start?
I'll start. So, a year from now, I want to have the holiday idea locked in. Album and my birthday. I want to have a gift for, like you said, the intro and the outro for this. And I also want to do I want to follow up with Kaylee on the knot thing, to have like just the video editing of this, to have leveled up. And
what, she said she would edit it?
No, because she said she would spray paint the knot idea that Calvin had whenever we cut something out, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to do, but maybe it takes Bre to finish the characters, because we could do like them bouncing around, animate those guys.
That'd be fire.
Around. You know. But so mine would be that, and then more music videos. That's my goals. So
I think also it'd be cool. We'd have to like kind of figure out more what we're doing, but also just like as we film this for like the playback, we also stream it on Twitch if we set up this stuff, because we could stream the stuff live.
We haven't really we might not need the nothing anymore at this point. In one instance, because
I said the F word. I don't know what the rules on that is, but
I think you're allowed to
on YouTube. I think. I don't know how it works on Twitch. I think you can swear.
Well, bleep, 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 bleep.
I don't know. We'll see.
Can't say that word, Calvin. That was one for the
Also,
visual
side
listeners.
note, I bought, I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm sure at some point you saw it. The wooden table in that other room. You guys see it? That wooden table?
In the living room?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
What we did.
It
Not
looked really nice
that
in
one.
there.
That one, but the one over here. Not the
In
family room.
The game room?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't think so.
Whatever. So I bought this wooden table that's like, it's actually like chunky on the edge and flat. And then I was thinking we moved the stuff in there because the sound will sound better, not so echoey through the whole house. And then it will actually hold these things better, because I'm battling this thing the whole time. So
You also move it a lot.
Yeah.
I do move it a lot, but still I should be able to.
You just don't know how to clamp.
Well, I will say, when the table was farther this way and this thing was like how yours was when we started, I didn't have this problem. But it's because of the distance, I'm constantly pulling it, and it's pulling down on this ridge right here. So that, I think we should use that.
Because of the distance.
So
Whatever.
that's your goal. Your goal is
My goal is to move over there.
Okay.
That's it. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sad moving this thing. Hide it away.
I don't think so. I don't consider hiding it away. Yeah, it's not when you walk in, but I feel like I turn it on more than anybody else. But it's off. And if you could, in there, you could just leave it on. It could be the ambiance of the room.
Yeah. But that's cool.
But other than that, goals. It's about to be there. You got the seconds?
Yeah.
Did it just flip?
Not yet. Still got a minute.
A minute, okay.
Well,
Feel free to interrupt no matter what's going on to give us a
yeah.
countdown. Yeah, obviously I'm working on the album. I'm like actually exactly halfway through it. The mixing. And then
what's gonna answer on speaker? Yeah, you don't know. It's Bre's birthday.
Gotta be.
Yeah, dummy. Yeah.
well, good thing I pointed out the time.
Well, no, I've been sitting here watching.
That's why you're looking at it. I was like, I wonder if I thought you had maybe had like a time you were trying to cut it or something.
Well, I don't
Well,
know.
We can call
I think
again.
it is a double entendre.
A little bit.
My intuition was aware.
Let's see if she answers
Trying
this
to
one.
FaceTime. Gonna answer on her iPhone in case she opens with.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy birthday to you.
Now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bre. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Bre. You were the second Oceans member to have their
Birthday
a podcast on their birthday.
That is true.
I missed it. Do you feel older?
What'd you say?
I said, oh shit, I'm talking to this like you can hear me. I said, do you feel older?
Yeah, I feel like a grandma.
Nice.
Grandma.
You want to share with the audience how old you turned?
I turned 21.
Ooh, say grandma. Hell yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, babe.
I'll see you later.
We're going to take a shot when we get home, okay?
Yeah. You can't fall asleep.
Don't fall asleep. Stay up.
Take a shot.
Or you'll wake up, it's the shot. Wake up.
Splash it in your face. Wake up.
That'd be terrible.
21 camp.
21 shots. Bro, you gotta take 21 shots from now until next midnight. Throughout the day. So pace yourself.
There's 1 an hour. That's easy.
Yeah, and then you get like a 3-hour break period in between, in the middle.
Absolutely
Little
not.
siesta time.
Yeah, we can order an IV. It'll be alright.
Y'all are crazy.
Are you? Is that a yes?
Not even close.
Well, it's not a no.
You know what they say about maybes?
It's not even close.
What do they say about babies?
It's a baby.
All right,
It needs
hurry
to
up,
be
see you
care
in
and
the
love,
morning,
but so it can become
All
a
right,
yes.
love you,
So
baby.
IV
Love
drip.
you, bye.
The care and love she needs.
Funny.
Beautiful.
I drip of Jameson.
Beautiful. They're
Holy
both.
shit.
You can officially start counting down to my birthday now. She got her.
Which is
Nah.
Yeah. it's like
Approximately
time's up.
23
hours
hours.
and
And,
50 minutes.
yeah.
Until I turn 21.
23. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I also peeped that you at work today. You just mentioned that you were 23. I didn't want to interrupt you and
No, no,
correct
I
you.
said I'm
Like,
turning-
You
nah,
should have. No, you should have definitely. interrupted me.
No,
I
he's
said
20.
verbatim. I said verbatim.
22.
I turned 23 in
Don't
2
let him
days.
get you. Say.
That is true. You did say that.
Because
Okay,
that's the
okay,
only
okay.
reason I brought it up. Because
Okay.
she was like, she was talking about how well I was doing my job, and she was just like, "And you're young to be this wise." I was like, "Well, I turned 23 in 2 days." She's like, "23," and I was like,
It's your Jordan year.
Oh yeah.
"Eh."
What's up? Oh yeah. That's hilarious. If you didn't say in 2 days, it's definitely your
Oh, yeah.
place in that moment to be
Oh, yeah.
like, actually he's 22 and 363 days. Don't let him lie to you.
That's hilarious.
Don't let him pull a fast one.
It's actually my birthday.
For anyone questioning themselves, yes, my birthday is the day after Breeze. It's pretty.
No one was
It's,
quite.
it's so nice.
Are you
Oh, yeah.
insulting the intelligence of our viewers?
No,
all
not
10
at
of
all.
them?
I
would never.
am respecting the fact that I know I am the type of podcast listener that would have that thought process and be like, okay, am I wrong
Like, I
about
wonder
that?
what's going on
Or-
here.
Yeah, like, because we were just kind of
Something
casually talking
smells
around it.
fishy
I
around
wanted to
these
address you,
parts.
you specifically that just thanked me for doing that. You're welcome. And
I'll tell you
appreciate
what. If you thanked him, comment.
it.
If you didn't
Oh.
thank him, also comment.
That does remind me. I did want to say for when this one drops, from here on out, if anyone wants to comment any topics that you want us to
Ooh, yes,
discuss,
please.
definitely do
Oh
that.
no.
Please.
So definitely under this one, 12 would probably be the best one because I said on this one. But any other one from here on out, if you want to put topics that you think we should discuss, definitely put them down. So that's what I want to say. So I'm glad you said that.
1000%. Should we do like a random draw on a hack type
I
of
actually was
ordeal,
thinking
or-
that if you guys didn't come today, I was like, I'm gonna do a solo one, and what I'm gonna do is just hit Google, go random
Solo.
topics.
I'm literally here. It's like solo. I'm doing it by myself. Like,
Yeah.
Solo dolo.
I was
That's
like,
crazy.
if Jason didn't want to do it, I was gonna.
What do you mean?
Either way, I was gonna do
Fuck.
random topic, and then just be like,
We
all right,
do
whatever
need
it
a
is.
bucket with the hat. Bucket with topics in it.
But the only thing is, we're gonna
See-
have to make those topics. So,
Suggestions from a
yeah,
hat.
but you throw them in there like for later.
but Bree
I
can-
don't know. I'd rather have like
Dude.
a
Oh, somebody else do it?
different kind of gimmick in the sense of like I would personally, and this was just because it was the first thing that crossed my brain, and I kind of love it. Rather have like some kind of air cannon that like shoots them out, and you try to catch them, and that's the topic you
Dude.
bring to
That'd be
that.
fire.
That's the topic you bring to the table. Well,
One of
no,
those
I'm just
t-shirt
thinking.
cannons, like you steal something from the Mercedes.
I'm thinking one of the ones that like
Dude, that'd
blow
be
the like smoke ring. You know what I mean?
You
Like
could
one of
do-
the just puff cannons. Just
I'm
shoot
down
out
for
a
that.
whole bunch of topics,
That's
and like
funny
all
as
of us
shit.
try to grab it.
Yeah, we should do that when we have when we have a guest on there. You just blast it at it. You just grab the whatever one, and that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say episode 50.
We start having guests.
No,
Oh.
episode 50.
Whenever anyone wants
For
to
the-
be a
for the
guest at
gun.
this point, can
Yeah,
be
we
on
could
it
get
or
it.
down.
Well,
yeah, the air
stipulation,
gun. I want
the
the air
stipulation.
gun.
I was gonna say it still applies.
Which you made the first time that there's ever a guest brought up was that you have to watch one full one and
Give a
Yeah.
review.
give a
Give a
review.
review. Yeah. Which we still didn't receive. Our friend Michael. Our friend Michael.
Why he hasn't
He's
guest
watching
starred.
them. He watched like 9 and 10.
No
and then,
wonder he
then I
hasn't
told him to go,
come.
and then he watched the first one. Then I told him to go back and just watch them in order. Then he's like, yo, he brought up something that we talked about that I had like no idea, and I realized that like after we finish here, I have no idea what we talked about. Like I have no idea.
Sometimes, yeah, my grandpa's talked to me about a couple of them, and like I'm just like, I pin it a little bit on
Yeah.
some of it, and then like I lose them.
You
like,
just gotta
the
ask him
rest.
which one is he talking about, and all you gotta do is just go to the video and just like swipe through like every 5 minutes.
That's just so much. Like
But it only takes 5 minutes, like 10 or 2 minutes to do it. You just skip every 5 minutes. You just listen to what we're talking about, and then
you'll remember.
It'll-
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
It
basically what I
brings it
do
back.
when I'm when I put on the YouTube video. I go, what are the topics? The last one I just edited today, I couldn't remember the topics from whatever, but I have to go every like 10 minutes anyway to align the audio, but I go every like 5 minutes, hear the topic, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what it was, and then write it down and just go like that.
Oh, by the way, I hope
Yeah.
everybody had a happy Thanksgiving.
I
Yeah.
think I said that
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
That's good.
Probably, but I
Yeah.
don't think I said it.
Played
so.
some games. Ate a lot of food.
Yeah.
Did you guys play football?
No.
Nope.
That's why I hadn't said it yet, Eddie. Yeah, for the record.
Didn't play football.
No.
Didn't play football. I didn't go either, but it was anticipated for me not to.
I
go.
totally forgot that you mentioned it,
The
and
thing
then
about
there was
it
no way I could
is
leave.
also that the Lions play at 12:30,
Yeah.
so it's like really the main game that
Yeah.
we want to
Like,
watch. of
go
the
outside
day.
and play
Yeah.
football, or watch my Lions get smacked up on Thanksgiving.
I was really rooting for the Lions.
They
This is-
never win on
This is
Thanksgiving.
usually my thing. I watch
I think
the
they won
Lions,
last year actually.
and then I get like hyped up at watch. Like I just want to play football at that point, and then I play until dark.
We
usually-
did play-
That's usually
Facts.
We played baseball the other day, and then we played football with Amber. Because Amber just like went on a warpath, and she just wanted to like. She just loves playing defense. She would get the ball like after one of us would get tackled, and we always kind of fumble it when you get tackled. And she would get the ball and then just like wait, and then when people come, she'd just chuck it or just go down. And then as soon as you get it, she just comes in just with a flying knee to your side of you, try to take you down. She loves playing defense. So we played outside, just like King of the Hill. But that wasn't on
Got her in
Thanksgiving.
some lacrosse.
I don't know. She's definitely baseball. She loves just.
Yeah,
She liked tennis also when we were playing.
She just like
tennis.
I think she's just like slightly violent, so she likes the violence in sports.
Yeah.
So like girls
Especially-
lacrosse wouldn't do it for her because it's too
When Ash's not playing
tactical.
basketball.
Facts.
So.
Boys lacrosse is more it's tactical, but it's more physical.
Yeah. Well, because I've seen some dudes literally just like on
Realistically,
some people.
Dude, you can smack the shit
Yeah.
out of people
Mm-hmm.
as long as you don't hit them in the head or You could. Hey, dude. Like, 'cause some people you can as you get older, you don't have to wear all the pads. 'Cause you played.
I did not play.
Oh, you didn't play?
Yo, do you
I
think she'll
played
be
for
tall?
fun. I didn't like.
Oh, I
actually
thought you
play with
played.
us.
Yo, do
I
you
just
think,
know how to play.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you think she'll be tall?
What? Probably. Yeah. She'll be tall.
Yeah.
Cause
Dude, do you see how tall Kita's mom is?
yeah, that's what I was asking. But you see how tall? No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
But Kita.
I love low. That's low. Literally. Like, yeah. Okay.
Jesus. She'll be
But-
tall.
Because she asked about playing basketball the past couple times. But if she actually starts getting really good at basketball, that's probably the best sport because she's aggressive. She likes contact. You know, she'll
Get
get,
on the
she'll get to
boards.
the hoop. She'll get the boards. You know what I mean? If she's
Mhm.
tall, that's
Yeah.
just
Perk.
you not necessarily you need to for WNBA, but it's definitely a better perk.
We'll put her in eventually. It doesn't even matter, I think, if she starts like now or in like a couple years, because as long as we
Mhm.
play against her, we're better than
Exactly.
any competition, like
Yeah.
obviously. So
'Cause
we'll push
until
her harder
she's-
than they will.
Until she's 5 foot or 6 foot, like we're gonna be taller, then we'll be swatting her, gonna be whatever. So she's gonna get better.
Yeah.
And that's what she was in my room. And she saw like my like trophies that I had, and she's like, "How do you have so many trophies?" I was like, "Oh, because I just won a lot." And she was like, "How?" I was like, "'Cause I was good." And she was like, and I was like, "Well, if you want to play sports, you're gonna win a lot too." And she's like, "How?" I was like, "'Cause you play against the best."
It's facts.
So
though.
you're gonna be the best.
And she's a Capricorn, and Capricorns are the most competitive. They are.
Yeah.
My cousin Adam,
I'm mad about it because
most competitive person I've ever met in my lifetime.
people at
Owner
my
of the cream
second
team.
job, like
Yeah.
Getting scooped out.
solid like 6 or 7 people
The
at
cream
my
team
second
Daffy
job
loves.
have adapted calling me toxic sage because I'm a
Toxic
Sagittarius. Yeah, no sage, and
Why?
it makes because I wouldn't tell them what I was, and so they called me toxic because of it. So now I'm just like toxic sage.
Sage is a cool word though.
Sage is a
Sage
cool
is-
word,
Yeah.
but
Like,
like,
I am a sage.
I'm also not like no.
Yeah.
Because it's not even that I'm in disbelief.
That would-
about
that would
it,
happen
but,
to
like,
me.
Well, I
there's
think
patterns to
Sagittarius
stuff,
is,
but-
and which
It's
I
just
think
funny-
you very much embody is like you're like the storm the hill kind of person. Like you're the first one to storm the hill.
it depends.
You're like, guys, if we just get to the hill right there, we'll be up there. We'll be fine. And you just go do it.
Just move, dummy.
Yeah.
It's funny though
Exactly.
because people who are really
And then the Capricorn tries to beat you there.
like
What
certain
was your idea?
there's like a certain type of like astrology person that like knows about it, and then they're like I'm like, oh, what are you? I'm like, I'm a Gemini. They're like, oh my gosh. Like they go like that, and you're like, what? And it's just like for whatever person they met that it could have been one, and then it's like associated like nope, like whatever. And it's just hilarious that it's just another thing that people will. You can use it as a tool, like Jason explaining right there, or it could be like whatever, where you just like use it to group people or you know push people aside or whatever.
People give it too much faith sometimes, I feel.
I think
I'm
it's
definitely
like,
into it. I think it's cool.
If you're
but
like a Call of Duty character, it's just like one of your perks. That's the way I look at it. Like, if you're a good player, you're gonna play how you play. It doesn't matter what your perks are,
Yeah.
but it's just one of your perks.
Yeah.
it's like a
That's all it
scavenger
is.
perk.
It's not the end all. Like if you have scavenger on, it's not gonna make you like this exact player where you run over every bag, but you just have scavenger. Part of the game.
Yeah.
So with goals, we didn't all do it.
Goals for me. Well, I won't say one of these right now. I'll wait till after it happens because it's actually gonna happen before the year ends.
Okay.
But I'll hold that. I'll tell you guys after.
Oh my.
All right.
Hold line. And then I really want to start playing the saxophone more. Really
Facts.
dive into that more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're starting to get the garage
Definitely.
area like
Mm.
fixed up now. We got like our little music corner, so
That's
be
gonna
a
be
good
cool.
nice environment to just jam.
Dude, I feel like Atlanta would be the nice environment to jam. Just sit on one of those.
I don't
little-
have enough confidence to do that.
Okay,
yet.
fair. I feel that. I wouldn't play the guitar out there.
I'm honest enough to say that. I don't have enough confidence for that yet. But other than that,
Oh no, dude, you go out there. Sorry to interrupt you, but you go out there and you play it and you have a little sign that says "Need money for lessons."
Yo, should we go to Atlanta? And,
Shut me up for $20.
Yeah.
should we go to Atlanta and jump scare people and then ask for tips?
No.
Like,
That's a
gotcha.
quick way to end up on the
Woke you up
news.
this morning like 7 a.m. Woke you up.
Yeah, that's a quick way to go to sleep.
I saw this guy on the side of the beside the road, like when I was about to merge on the interstate.
Did
He
he
had a
jump scare
Santa,
you?
no, had a Santa hat on. He had a whole bunch of like funny ass signs. Like one was like, "Help, my wife got kidnapped," and the ransom note's $100. I'm $9 short. And another one was like lawn mows. Lawn gnomes.
Oh, I love those. I bought one for $12.
Yeah, with a flower thing.
It's outside.
He said lawn
No, with a flower.
loans ate my dog. Please help. Give money or something like that. It was just like stupid funny
Get
ones.
There's
creative with it.
nothing better. It was like,
So, okay, other goals.
But Calvin and I basically were talking 2 weeks ago, and I think like before I want to put out my personal album, we were talking about doing a duo album like long before. So I want to feel like maybe that should be coming out first.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
nice.
I've been talking about loose ends for a while, and I'm almost at the point where like border secure. So I want to work on finishing so I can start the next layer,
Hell yeah.
and that's my main focus for next year. Finish as soon as possible. That way I can spend as much of the year on the new layer, whatever that new layer may be.
Yeah. Mine's finish my album, which I think I'll probably finish mostly before the end of this year. And then I want to be like make enough money off the creative avenues by the end of next year that I don't have to go into a workplace.
1,000 a week.
That's my goal. So if I can just quit my like regular job and just work like whatever it is I'm doing, like whether I'm working on music or working on the videos or doing podcast stuff or trying to elevate the editing to the next level, making it like have like the intro and outro and different stuff in it to try to bring it to the next level, even if we go to like 2 camera angles or something like that. You know what I mean? Try to make all the art, just do all the art stuff better, or just work on the other project that I'm working on that I haven't done anything on for a while, but stuff like that. I just want to be able to stay at home, play video games, make music and creative stuff, and then be a dad. That's all I want to do. So by the end of next year, that's all I want to do.
1,000 a week. That's all you need.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I sold me and Ryan's Pokemon collection for 5.5 G's.
No way, really?
Yeah,
Dang, the
Yeah.
whole
the
collection.
whole collection
Except
except 2 cards.
Dark Energy.
I kept this dark energy that's like when you turn it, it's cool. I'll show you it upstairs. It's like
Yeah,
all this
graphic.
little, the
And I
graphic is
kept
cool.
a Cedra, but the card has like holograph where it's like blue and silver, and it's like
Yeah.
almost like crystallized.
It's a promo out of the legendary
And
collection.
it's just
for
one of
people
those
who want to look it up.
ones that like
Old.
every time I thought about the Pokemon cards, my mind went to that one
Mm-hmm.
the most. And it was one that wasn't like the chart, like one of the Charizard, one of the ones that
Yeah,
would take
the
out
best
the
card
biggest
was like
value.
Charizard, which was like worth like $800. And I remember pulling that card as a kid out of the pack, Charizard EX, the first Charizard EX they ever made. So that was the most expensive card that we had.
So you said what it was worth, like what, 7 or 8?
It was worth 7 or 8, but the quality it was in, it was probably only worth like 300 or 400. But if you have a brand new one, worth like 800.
No, I'm saying the whole collection. You said it was like 7 or
The
8
whole
or-
collection, like in reality, probably was worth around, based on what it was, probably worth around like today, probably only like, if they're all pristine, around 8.5 grand, but they're not all pristine, so it's probably somewhere in like the 5, about what I got for it. But I wouldn't get it. It would take me another like 2 or 3 years just to get 8 grand off of it, so, and it would take me another 5 years to get like 10 grand or something. So
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. Got a good offer. Everything was legit. Went through smoothly. Got the money. Fucking came up.
Nice.
No more
Heck yeah.
Pokemon cards though.
It's alright, you got the Yu-Gi-Oh card still.
Yep. Yu-Gi-Oh's honestly probably worth less, even though we have more value.
But I think
in
it's
it.
better. I think it's better for us that the Yu-Gi-Oh cards were worth less because we actually like
Yeah, you can still. It's
playing
easier to get them.
and it's like if you knew like the Dark Edition in your hand was like $10,000, right? But we play with it, right? And you're like, oh, but we play with it. But because it's not worth $10,000 and you play with it, it doesn't feel as
Yeah, our most expensive card, we have like a $200, and it's just some random. Like if I didn't look it up one day, like I would have just thrown it in the box. Like thought it was like just some card. It's cool, it's shiny, but it's like some random card.
Well, if we would have kept the cards that we got the first time we were bought them in pristine condition,
Yeah.
Like in the
those are
box,
worth
you
a
would
lot.
have some good money.
X.
You bought them to play with, not to make money off of.
Yeah,
them.
even the Pokemons. So
Okay, well, we better go take this birthday shot because it's starting to get late.
Well, hold on. Calvin didn't bring up idea, the topic.
Oh,
It could be
facts?
quick, but a little closing one.
I feel like I asked myself a question today. What was the question I asked? Oh, at what point is low enough to change?
At what point is low enough to change?
Yeah.
The point where I almost shed a tear, where I feel a tear coming, and then I'm like I'm not happy. I need to change.
I was thinking about it today in the sense of just a couple like small things on a very small scale, and then I kind of like zoomed out and I was like, whoa, and zoomed back in. But it was just like, oh man, it just bugs me how I always have to do this after work, and I really could get it done before work, but I just don't because I know I usually get it done after work, and I was just like, why do I do that?
Okay, so
Because it irks me every single time.
I have this like battling. It's actually weird, but I have this like battling voice in my head where I'm to do something like the laundry. Like if I know I'm walking upstairs, like the laundry's already done. I already did it. It's just dry, sitting in there. And I think about it, I'm like, oh, I don't have to do it now. There's nothing pressing. Like I only need the clothes out of it tomorrow. So technically I could not do it. So there's a voice in my head that tells me, don't worry about it. It's all good. Like just relax. There's another voice that tells me like, you lazy piece of shit. Like just take that upstairs. Just go do it. Like you do it, it's done. So that's not an answer to your question, but I have that confliction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
just
gotta
take
it.
it.
Better, yeah.
But
take it
it
and go.
plays into the question, like, at what point do you beat procrastination? Like, when is something either important enough and you're not there, you're not high enough, or when is it, like, how low you are? It's just like,
I think it's when whatever it is affects something else in my life in a negative way. Because I don't want to be general and be like affects my life in a negative way, like my overall or whatever. But when I can directly see that, like, like this is just an example. It didn't actually happen, but like if I was like, oh, I need to get gas, I'll do it tomorrow. But then I forget, and then I'm late to work because I had to get gas. That to me is unacceptable. Like that's where it affected something else, and now I was late. That didn't actually happen. Only been late like twice.
I would say.
Yeah.
that was actually one of my small things for today. Sorry.
Well, I usually get a feeling or like a whisper from my soul that says, don't do that again. Like, you better not do that again. Or, this is your last chance. Like, if time's running out, this is your last chance. But, like, in college and stuff, like, I worked the best when there's, like, an hour, 2 hours left.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got.
Buzzer beater.
Last 2 minutes of the game. Put all you got into it. You know what I mean? And that's, like, because when I was in school, I would, like, the first semester, I studied, like, a couple of days before the test. And I would just be sitting there thinking about all the other stuff I wanted to do. And I was like, I'm not fucking... But then when I got into the point where I would get myself prepared with the study guide, I would put the hours in to make sure it's a really good study guide. And then if the test is at 2, I would wake up at like 8:30, get there by like 9:30, and just sit there from like 10 to 2 o'clock and just stare at the study guide and then just put that stuff on paper, you know? But that was just school. And then once I got to that, my life became way easier. I was like, that's how I do it. That's all I need to do. All I got to do is pass. That's all I need and get a good grade. So it's like, I don't need, and then all the stuff that's actually true and important will stick with me. And all the stuff that was just like bullshit to waste your money, and then you can learn on Google in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I was just, but I think for me, like, there will be a time where I'll either do something, and it's like, bro, why'd you do that? Like, for instance, the metaphor instead of like, if you went to work, like, there's been multiple times where my gas tank is like below E, and I barely make it to BJ's, or like I feel like I barely make it there. And it's like I could have went. The only reason why I didn't get it the day before, is because when I walked out the house and locked the door, I was walking the car. I was like, I don't have the BJ's card. I could have easily just turned around, and I went over there anyway. But I was just like, nah, I don't feel like going back upstairs to do it, you know. But if I would have got stranded, then it would have been like, yo. But then when I was driving, I was like, I should stop doing this. This might mess up my car, having like the low gas.
Especially because it's getting colder.
Yeah, so I was like, so that feeling right there was my soul saying, don't do this again. Because it might not happen the next time, but if I do it again, I'm going to slip again, and then boom, then the car's and blah, blah, blah. So it was just like, I'll hear the whisper, like, don't do it again, or this is last chance. And once I hear those words, it's like, okay. Whether I need to, whether it actually is I need to or not, change, whatever it is, that's just when I feel like I act. And then as far as procrastination, I feel like it's depending on what you're doing. Like, if you got to build, like when we built the desk, if I had to do that in like an hour, it would not have gotten done. You know what I mean? But it was like I didn't have a time constraint on it, you know? But it was like, but if I knew, but now that I made the desk.
Oh, you didn't see it yet.
And if I.
You gotta come look at it before you go.
If I made the desk and you told me that I had like until like tomorrow morning to do it, you know what I mean? I would get started like right away because I know how long it's gonna take me. You know what I mean? Instead of like, but whatever. But some things, you know, you push right to the end, whether it's the test or, you know, the album. Like, that's why I put the date. Like, I want to put it on my birthday. I always miss it every time, except for once. I'm gonna put something on my birthday. I always miss it, but this time I'm not missing it. You know, so it's like that's gonna be. Where even I brought up like earlier, with the South Park thing, not working on it for so long, but they just get it to where this is where it's supposed to be here, and then now I can get started on the next thing, you know, and just breathe, like you said, get to the next thing and just breathe whatever that is, because at the end of the day, like by doing more and more, you will get better, and the time you spent trying to perfect like an idea, if you could have 15 more ideas and you still got there at the end of it anyway. But now you have 15 other ideas too, instead of just the one you've been working on that you still aren't pleased with at the end because you lost some of it here trying to do this, and you know, and you like it's almost like carving like a soap, and you carve it, but then you like accidentally cut too much, and now you look at your
drop it
thing, you're like, no, now your duck's gonna be super skinny, or you gotta like deal with it.
Yo, but actually, story to go into that, there is a beauty of that as well. Because, like, when I was getting this tattoo, I drew it on my hand, and I was, like, told the guy to trace it. Somehow fucked it up. Because when he was going, he, like, was like, and then it was, like, this, like, straight line. Then, he left, like, a hook like that. Like, down, like, there. And he's like, oh, we're going to have to make it thicker. And that was that. He knocked, like, a percentage off of it. But I didn't even trip about it because I was like, it is what it is. Even though it's a tattoo, it's permanent on my hand, and I drew it. So it's like, you could have just followed the line. It's not that hard. But
seething with quiet resentment over there.
That's not
That
quiet.
seemed pretty loud to me.
Just saying. I mean, it shouldn't be that. But anyway, but I like there's part of it that I'm just like, all right, that is what it is. Like it's meant to be like that. So even though it's like, I don't even know why I thought of that, but
because I said,
how it gets carved. There's a beauty in the
Yeah.
mistakes.
yeah, which is true.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, when it comes to like fighting procrastination, I just kind of like have to like list out like all the good things that will come from me just doing it. And like sometimes I'll be honest with you, there's not enough good things that at least I could think of at the moment, so I don't do it, and then I realize what it could have been if I would have just done it. So then like it's just a reflection of like Ryan said a little bit of what you said too. It's like the reflection of like, dang, if I would have done this, I could have been like this already.
Yeah.
But now we're set back because we chose to make that in the past.
That's a good point. I like the feeling of like when you knew you could have done something and then didn't do it, and then something else happens that you didn't want to happen and you knew you could avoid. That's like I hate that feeling. It's the worst feeling. So I do everything I possibly can,
And that's
to
what my
avoid
feeling
that.
of saying never, like, don't do that again. When that moment comes back up, and you see it again, whatever you did, like, don't do that again, because you're gonna end up back where you are. This thing happened, you'll be like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. So when those moments come, that's where I say, don't do that again, because that's the low. That feeling right there, that like, you know, I mean, like that is like that's the worst thing. That just feeling it on yourself, right, and then knowing you got to live with that. And whatever comes from it, you know what I mean?
Also, that like what you were saying about listing the reasons. For me, I kind of just give myself, I don't know if this is good or bad, but it's like an immediate gratification thing. So like the other day, no, the other day, after just real, you know,
Like just finish the dishes, nicely
it's
done.
like 10 strokes I gain. You just add them up at the end of the night. That's how many you get. See if it's enough. So,
Did you do enough good today?
I'm good at
With
it.
the don't wake up daddy.
No, didn't get quite there. Just gotta walk away. with a throbber. No, but like the other day.
I'll have the lady cross the street today. It's like, we're good. It's like,
Oh yeah. What? Yeah, so I was it was the dishes, right? The dishes were dirty, or there was clean ones and dirty ones in the sink, and I was like, I could just walk away right now, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this, and then like I went out to smoke. I was like, it'll feel better to smoke if I do this first. Then I'll sit out there like I accomplished something, even though it's a negative reward smoking. But
it's
technically,
a big. I think you can feel like, say like having like closed skirt in your room, right? You don't think that it's a big weight on you.
what, clothes?
Yeah, like if like your room is messy, right? Or if like whatever, and it's like, oh, I could clean it, or the laundry, like you could bring it upstairs, but like the weight of if you just brought it upstairs and just dealt with it, then tomorrow the weight on your shoulders is less. And sometimes what you think, like you might not know after, you don't know how much that weighs until later on when you do take it.
Because tomorrow will bring more weight.
You know,
Every day will bring more weight. So if you don't unpack, you end up carrying too much.
and it's like, oh, I finally did that. Like, oh, thank God. Like, oh, it's nice. You know,
And you do feel better after you get it done.
Yeah.
100%.
So what about you, Calvin?
So-
As you pose the question, I would like to know your answer.
I realized today that it's really situational. Like, cause I'm fairly lazy if I'm not absolutely like attentive on whatever it is, right? And so it really is for me, like if it's something that I feel like needs to get done, I'm gonna make sure it gets done. If it's something that I want to get done for something else, someone else is gonna make sure it gets done. But if it's something I really don't care about, but it does have to get done, I'm going to figure something else out to do. Because
So you need to have some
it's-
passion in it.
yeah, because it
Sticks in the
is
game.
it is a subconscious me trying to not admit that if I don't care.
The
I don't
toughest
care.
ones, the toughest humps to get
If I
over.
close my eyes, it will just disappear.
The toughest humps to get over, but feel the best when you do get over them, are the ones that you know when you look at whatever the situation is and you go, who else is gonna do it?
Yeah.
And you gotta go,
Like ones.
I'm gonna do it.
And I do it. Don't get me wrong, I do it a lot.
Might
but
not
This
be-
guy.
You know, and it's like,
I do a lot in a week, and so it's like out of all it's the whole I'm working at a restaurant. How much am I really gonna deep clean?
Yeah,
that
I
a
feel
question?
that. I don't roll.
Because I
I
don't
shouldn't say
have.
that, actually.
I
Just in case.
don't have.
I don't do all my chores.
Like I don't have a deep clean in any of my jobs right now.
A
deep
I don't
clean?
really have a deep clean in any of my jobs right now. I used to
Yeah, yeah.
use like cleaning the kitchen as like my
excuse to be like,
Yeah.
look what I did. Like,
it was just like it was my kickstart. Like after I'm done with that, let me just go ahead and do other. Like if I can do this for a company, I should be able to do this for myself.
Hell yeah.
Right now, my jobs are relatively easy. Like they're hard on the day to day, but in totality, they're relatively easy.
That might be our cue to
Dude,
wrap it
keep
up.
going. Don't be
And
rude.
so,
that was the last time. Was it after the? No, it was like towards the end. Yeah, and then Jason brings it over to Eddie. It was just so funny. Like, Kyle was just trying to end it. He was like, "Turn the light off." I'm like, "I'm not turning it off." Jason's like, "Bring in the light."
Oh, that's how it ended?
It was like, oh, that was like the last 2
Dude,
minutes.
I'm
It was
telling you.
goofy as hell.
What am I going to do about it?
I don't know, man.
I need better conditions.
stop being a scrub. Ryan puts
I
his on the
refuse.
side every single week.
But look at,
And
look where
I'm
Ryan's
yet-
sitting in comparison to the edge, and look at mine. Ryan's is like,
Do you want to come sit on my lap? Will that fix it for you?
absolutely not. I'll make it worse.
Well,
I
then
get too
shut the
excited during the podcast. Can't focus. All my
Jason's
blood
like,
would go
oh,
somewhere
sorry.
else.
Just like, what's pricking my butt right now?
Bottom line.
Normal podcast.
Bottom line of
Podcast on
Daddy
Calvin's
long
lap.
leg.
yeah.
What did you say?
I said Jason's like normal podcast. Ooh, like Calvin's lap. But you were saying something? Or you're wrapping something up?
Yeah, I was wrapping something up. I was saying basically the point of my topic is to get done.
Hell
And
yeah.
it's, it really is. And whether you're
It's
like
not-
me and it's something you have to care about or not. Like,
I feel that.
And one thing I can say is if you feel like you have too many things, look at all the little things and just try to knock as many
Yeah.
out as with your energy
Start,
you have.
like, get it done.
And then afterwards spend some time to relax, and then now it's like
Yeah.
now I only got 3. It might be a little bigger, but I got 3 things instead of like
Yeah.
15. It could have been like brush your teeth,
because
you know,
there,
taking
yeah,
the trash,
there's a
all
whole
these
lot
little
of
ones.
there's a whole lot of like I'm overlooking the little ones right now. Where I'm like, I know I should get that done. I've thought about
But
getting it
then it
done every
starts
day.
waiting, it stacks up, and then a
Exactly.
big thing comes, and now you're like, why am I just what is going on?
And I will say, I tackled a lot of big things,
Yeah.
but I've been overlooking the little things. And
I feel that.
yeah.
Definitely feel that. So maybe that
But-
should be another one of my goals is tidy up the little things like yours.
Exactly. So tidy up your little things as well. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure
I
you're
think all my little things are
staying
pretty tidy
active.
right now.
Yeah.
Make sure you're tidying.
And just do it. Is that trademarked? Can we say that?
Y'all don't
Like,
clean.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
What? What's trademark?
Shia LaBeouf.
What? He probably. I doubt he probably didn't do it.
Someone else
probably has it.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Oh.
I've been Calbino.
Just go with it.
Guru.
Dwayne. The Kin.
The Navigator.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you for listening.
Appreciate everyone.
Till
who
the next
listens.
one.
Appreciate
Oh.
anyone who's on that Spotify rap.
Honorable
or
kind of mention.
Especially
Apple Music too. We don't have one of those, but anyone who's on music too. Appreciate
Especially the ones that notice we took week off.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Big
sure.
special
I had
shout
somebody
out
hit
to
me
you.
up.
Yeah,
Special shout
comment.
out to you.
Shout out
Yeah,
Michael.
but we will catch up to the ones we did miss. There's a little hiatus. We'll be back on it. We'll catch up. Topics, if you got them, let us know.
Happy birthday, Bre.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Bree.
Bree.
Happy
Number
birthday.
two.
And
To
happy
you
birthday
tomorrow.
to our fans if it's also your birthday.
Yeah.
Blessings.
December 1st, baby.
Oh, I will say I don't know if you guys looked at the Spotify thing, but we had like 260 new people
Yeah, I
this year.
did see that.
So like, I mean, that's like not quite, but almost one new person a day, which I think is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Next year that would be.
Well, I think next year is gonna be goal. Everyone's got certain goals.
Oh, you know what? It doesn't have to be today or on the podcast, but I do want to finish that conversation that we were having when the fireworks were going off.
We can talk about it after the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
I'm not sure what you're talking
And,
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we didn't really get
but-
to finish it.
The main thing have you guys thought about the iPad situation?
Yeah, I'm just very broke right now.
Facts.
And so, like, I'm coming over. I literally get paid tomorrow, and so I'll be over the hump after that.
Mm.
And that's
So
that's
basically,
on
because
the
my thoughts are
priority
one,
list.
like obviously Bree being one of the main like graphic
Mhm.
editors, we definitely need her on one of those. So obviously she should come here and work. Like we have one here, she can always come. But in the sense of if we have her, like I think like what you're saying before about how Bree had the marketing the page, like
Mhm.
she should do
Join
a
the
second
club.
revamp where she hops in there and revamps it, and
Yeah,
only
yeah.
Bree posts on that Instagram. We all post on our individual ones.
Mhm.
What, the Ocean on our
Yeah,
one?
and
Yeah, I'm
only
cool with that.
repost on it, and then with the new music, you guys do one. I want to do videos. We'll get the podcast. We'll get the because one
Dude,
thing
we
is
just need
I
to
wanna
make
get,
enough money to quit our job so we can spend
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, the
doing
goal is
this.
everyone needs 1,000 a week.
Yeah.
If everyone has 1,000, if everyone can make 50K a year doing this and things like this, we'll only breed more because we'll have more time to do everything else and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, you gotta take care of the little things, but you can't forget about the big things
Yep.
because
Right.
otherwise you're gonna eventually you might have money, but you're still gonna fall
Mhm.
because of all the stuff that
Yeah,
the lows you didn't listen to the lows or whatever, you know.
Right.
So, but again, appreciate anyone who watched episode
Yeah.
12.
Bye-bye.
3
Bye-bye.
months of podcasts.
Oh,
Good
no.
job,
I
guys.
just realized something.
What?
Yeah, we broke it.
We broke
we
it.
broke it. You don't have one underneath?
Nope.
You didn't bring mine back either, did you?
Nope.
We broke
found
it.
Well, to be fair, I did
Shout
walk in
out.
the room with the OOA hoodie. Just took it off before I
No,
thought
it's
it'd be hot.
broken.
It's broke.
But that's okay. Now,
It's not
alright.
even
now we
13.
got-
I wanted to break it
beginnings.
on 13. That's wild.
Sure.
Ooh.
We broke it
We
before
broke it on
13.
12. Well, we would have done one last week. We would have been 13
So.
this week.
Yeah.
Episode
True.
12. It's
Much
all
love.
good. We'll catch up before the end of the year. Appreciate anyone who listens. Ocean's on Arrival. Every platform.
Why is yours off?
Bye. Because I didn't want Jason to feel lonely.
Yeah.
He took his pants off. I took mine off.
Facts.